She woke up with no memory, but the truth was terrifying. My name is Elena Moore, and I was 29 when I woke up in a life I didn't recognize. The first thing I remember was the ceiling. White, sterile, cold. It buzzed slightly with the flickering of an overhead light, like something from a hospital. But I wasn't in a hospital. At least not one I'd ever seen before. My arms felt heavy, my head throbbed, and my mind, blank. I didn't know my name. I didn't know where I was. I didn't even know who I was. As I slowly sat up, I felt the weight of confusion press down harder than gravity ever could. Around me was a room that looked like it had been untouched for years. Dust-coated furniture, faded photographs on the walls, windows sealed shut with duct tape. My legs trembled as I stood, like they weren't used to walking. My reflection in a cracked mirror told me I was still me. Long black hair, pale skin, gray eyes, but I felt like a stranger inside my own body. There was a bag near the door. Inside it were a few clothes, a wallet with my ID, and a worn notebook filled with scattered journal entries, all in my handwriting. But none of the entries sparked any memory. They were cryptic. Some pages were ripped out. Others had lines repeated over and over, like someone trying to convince themselves of something. One sentence was underlined multiple times. Don't trust the man in the green coat. I had no idea who he was. As the days passed, I stayed in that old house, surviving off canned food in the kitchen and collecting pieces of who I was. The ID said Elena Moore. The year was 2025. But I had no memory of anything prior to waking up. I found keys, an old laptop with no battery, and strange carvings on the wooden floor beneath the rug, symbols I didn't understand. The nights were the worst. The house would creak in unnatural ways. Doors I had locked would be slightly ajar in the morning. I found a camera mounted behind a painting, its battery long dead. It was as if I was being watched, or had been watched for a very long time. Then, I found the basement. Behind a locked door I hadn't noticed before, I discovered a staircase leading down into darkness. The air was thick, stale. As I descended, each step felt like a descent into the unknown parts of my own mind. There were boxes labeled with dates, years spanning more than a decade. And inside them were files. Photos of me, newspaper clippings, even voice recordings. Someone had been documenting my life, long before I lost my memory. I discovered I had disappeared 3 years ago. A missing persons report was filed in New York. I was a journalist, digging into something secret. A case involving medical experimentation and identity erasure. A name appeared multiple times across the documents, the Orion Project. Suddenly, it made sense why my memory was gone. Why my body felt off. Why this house was in the middle of nowhere. I wasn't just missing, I was erased. And the truth, it wasn't just terrifying, it was irreversible, because I wasn't alone in that house. And someone, or something, had been waiting for me to remember.